Hello artistic adventurers and welcome back to Sketch Quest. We here at TYG have teamed up with some incredible artists to bring you this series of tips to help you start your adventure right. But before we can leave Tutorial Island, we need to brush up on a few skills. And don't worry if you're just starting out, because I'll be learning alongside you. And don't forget to use the hashtag SketchQuest so you can share your results with us. Let's see what today's quest is, shall we? We are back with VTuber artist extraordinaire J.L.P. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming back. What are we doing today?
Today we're going to be using thumbnail concepts and silhouette design to be able to create really iconic and effective characters.
Oh, very nice.
So when creating our characters, like in the last episode, we were getting the character down on paper, an idea of who they are, what they're going to be like, what environment they're going to be in. In this episode, we're going to break down into shape design, looking at some of the earlier episodes we did with using those shapes to be able to build characters from it. So here is an example of a character that uses really strong shapes and silhouette so we can tell exactly who they are. So we can see here that this is Olaf from Frozen. And a few ways we can tell it's Olaf is he has these little spikes on the top of his head here. He's got really simple iconic shapes that build up his actual character here, and when we put them together, it makes him so recognizable that we can tell it's him even without seeing any of these details here. Here we can see lots of different characters who are built up of shapes, and that's what has made them iconic. So if we take a few seconds to just look at the characters, we can guess which ones are which.
We'll let you all pause the stream.
Yeah, pause here to guess the characters. Alright, so I presume you've taken a second to guess who's who. So we can pick out a few here. So we can easily see this one is Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob because of his iconic triangle design with the two little eyes. This one is obviously Mickey Mouse because of the use of the circles. And this one is Marge from The Simpsons because that hair makes her design so iconic. And there's a lot more here. Like you can see SpongeBob uses a square here, things like that.
Jojo.
Yeah, you can pick loads out. Like, especially SpongeBob has so many iconic characters. Like you can see Squidward here. Like the iconic use of the circles. It's really, really great character design. And that's what makes these designs really stand out and why they're so... They've been able to last years and years and years because of these companies making them so well that kids can immediately point them out and go like, oh, I know that's Mr. Krabs immediately. Pokemon is another one that is really great with this kind of silhouette design. You can usually be able to spot any Pokemon, and they took kind of advantage of that concept when they did the guess the Pokemon.
Yeah, who's that Pokemon?
So I guess you could do that to your own characters and like try and break your characters down and be like, who's that character? And that's a good way of being able to tell that you've got really good design. So we're gonna mess around with a few shapes now. I know this seems like a really daunting thing to do, especially when you haven't done it before, but I would recommend doing like solid shapes and really trying to color them in. So we can see here, this is a strong circle, use a strong square, use a strong triangle, really color it in so we can see them within the design.
I guess let's use our tools as well.
Yeah, we can use the tools. I like mine to be a bit messy because I think it tends to like open the imagination up to like adding like different things in the design. This is also kind of another way that artists tend to break down learning how to draw, is they tend to like break it down into these shapes. Like here I'm just kind of doing sort of a regular human design, but it kind of reminds me of those robots from that film.
You mean the one you've not watched? You mean the Star
No.
Wars one that you've not watched?
No, not Star Wars. They had like a robot film when I was like a kid. It reminded me of that. But this is also a really, really great way to like make monsters as well. Like if we just throw a load of random shapes together here. This is kind of the thing you want to be doing, is try and just get something down quick that like you don't spend too much time thinking about, because I think the more we tend to like think about shapes, the more we end up trying to be a bit too purposeful with it.
I kind of made like a samurai guy.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I can kind of like starting to come through here.
I like how I don't know what mine are gonna be. Oh. So just kind of. These are random shapes now. This also kind of goes back to that last episode we were doing where we did the drawing with the clouds as well, or the squiggle test. Because then you can sort of try and make out what these shapes are that you've just made. So here, let me see. I see like a snail. He's a snail with his shell on backwards.
Oh.
But you could also do it as like it could be more than a snail with his shell on backwards. He could be like some kind of tank ready for war as well. Like the tank there, and then he's got like some kind of huge gun on top or something. But that's like the fun of it, is you don't know what these shapes are going to be, and you can mess around with them.
Oh, it's a burb. Okay, it's a burb. Burb, burb, burb.
I think I will do mine like a blob that has to carry his home in like a net. And he's got like a spiky thing in the net that he's collected. And then this one's giving me like Pokemon vibes somehow. I don't know how. Maybe some kind of, got like a dolphin or shark fin, but then it's kind of giving me bird, but with a bunny tail. What kind of monster is this? Shark.
Do you know what? I kind of like how it looks 3D though. Like you just that little white line has just made it pop so much.
Yeah.
Like it's given it actual depth. That's like, it worked really well with that. It's kind of like got an angle to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a really great way of just like designing different kind of characters, and they can be like really weird with their shapes and everything as well. Like I have no idea what this thing is. It's just a bird thing. He could be carrying something. He could be sitting down. It could be part of him. I don't know, because I haven't explored those ideas yet, but this one is giving like magic lamp to me, or spaceship. Or maybe he could be like a ghost that has really wide arms. Oh, he could hug people.
Oh,
and that could be like his thing. He like hugs you. And you're trapped. And this one is giving me like some kind of animal that's like exhausted, just like lying on the floor. It's like, it's done.
Yeah.
And I mean, look how quickly we have like made full characters just from a bunch of shadows and shapes. And some of them are very questionable. But some of them are like decent designs to work off.
Yeah.
I know when I was doing this challenge in college, I ended up accidentally kind of making this like witchy design here. And she is still a character that I use today and cherish a lot. And it was all because I created like a little silhouette that looked like this. And then I was like,
I like that.
Huh.
That's a nice silhouette.
I need to make her a witch now and give her personality.
And then she will become my whole personality.
And she's still with me today. I still use her. She's great. But especially when I was making a lot of my VTuber designs, I try and focus on like the shape breakdown of them because it really helps to be able to create a more iconic design. And VTubers are amazing at using this technique, by the way. Like, you can break so many VTuber designs down. Like, one way I did it with one of my characters, Goddess, is just adding the halo around her head. Like, gave her something that little bit more iconic that I was looking for. And the big sleeves. I love big sleeves.
Yeah.
So you can see here that we've been able to create some really cool character designs just from a few shapes and adding a few details to them, and that can help us to be able to create more iconic silhouettes for our designs, making them more recognizable. So today's quest is to play around with shapes and see how many characters you can make from that. Have fun with it, create a load of different monsters, different kind of designs. Don't be too perfect about it, just go crazy. You can make some really cool things without trying. So have fun.
And remember to share results with us using the hashtag SketchQuest. Thank you for joining us again, JLP.
Thank you so much for having me.
We shall be back with another sketch quest. Until then, we'll see you later, taters. Bye.
Bye.